What's up, guys? If you haven't seen the recent updates, the steering column on Estella was going to need a basic complete rebuild. All the switches inside were going to need replaced. After looking it over, I ended up contacting someone who I've bought stuff from before, and he gave me a good deal. I ended up just buying a new steering column. He's going to get that packaged and shipped to me, but that might take about a week or two to get that whole thing sorted out. So we're going to be waiting on that to be done. Until then, I'm going to try to get as much stuff on her as done as possible. Now, when we bought her, the original panel was taken off and replaced with this panel. This is a replacement, sorry, not panel, fender. I don't know why I said panel, but they replaced it because there's actually rust coming through on the panel. And we don't need this replacement panel though. I'm okay with a little bit of rust. This isn't going to be a resto mod. We're just going to be getting things put together for now. So I am going to be replacing this aftermarket fender with the original fender, and I'm just going to be showing you guys how to do that. It's been a while since I've done it. Bonita actually had to have both her fenders replaced when I first bought her. That's my personal Jeep, but we're going to get this done. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do when taking off this fender is disconnect it from the front grille. You're going to have to remove the bolts right here to get that done. Unfortunately, the original owners of this Jeep started ripping a bunch of stuff off, so we're actually missing this arm that's supposed to be going on. And as you can see on the other fender, we're missing that part. I didn't notice this before, but I was just checking her over. Now, usually if you're taking off the fender to replace it, there's supposed to be about 4 screws on the back side here. They're a little difficult to get to. In fact, I might even suggest you take the battery tray off just to access them, unless you can really wedge your fingers in there. I think that's what I did. However, they apparently had no idea what they were doing, or they just never finished because they didn't put any of the screws back in. So we're gonna kind of be doing this, figuring this out together, one at a time. Anyone need a passenger side fender? Now, what we can do, since we know that we're gonna need these, but clearly they're missing, we can take the screws that we pulled out and make sure they're the exact same. That feels right. If you can screw it in with your hand and it doesn't jiggle or anything. So we know that these are the same screws. So what we're gonna do, run to the hardware store. You can find these exact same screws and make sure that they are the exact same. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually bolt it in because we need more screws. Clearly a good amount, probably standard. Seems tight. 16 by 18. 16 by 1. Looks about right. Got ourselves some new bolts for Estella. Ace Hardware is always a good place. Usually, so far it's been the best place for us to find bolts, even though it is also the closest place for our house. Do we want to,
I think I'd rather put Bondo in it.
Before we put it on, do we want to put the pins in back in the, so the fender stays on?
Pins?
Yeah, but there's only 2 screws in there.
Oh yeah, that would. It'd be a lot easier.
From here.
Yep.
My arsenal of those parts. You can even use this. That easy gets out. Okay, looking forward to the rescue. This rubber stuff sucks. We don't need rubber. I've driven halfway across the country without it.
Look at it, it was all like
It's like something you don't want to bite you. It is freaky.
It's got like spikes for legs. Look at it.
Yeah.
You actually getting a good shot of it?
Yeah. Oh, this will fit in there. Yep. Button up the front end here a little bit. Catching on the thing. Can you disconnect it from the thing, please? Somehow.
It's like hooked.
I think it's bracketed. After we got the battery tray off, it was pretty easy just to bolt all in, as long as you make sure your screws are straight. Spray a little bit of WD-40 on them, and then just torque them back in. While I was doing that, Dad was messing with the front end, trying to get the bumper off, and then also working on the hood latch so it'll close properly. See if it closes good. It didn't need to be fought. Did it latch? No. You have to like cut it out. Or what we could do is we could get two fenders and then just cut all of this anyway, so then there won't be beanie rust, and then have two fenders.
Oh, tube fenders?
Two fenders.
Let's say two fenders.
No, two fenders.
Cut right here.
Two fenders. So all we have to do now.
Or you could cut it right here.
Uh-huh.
So you have the bend.
Yeah, but then you'd have no fender, and it would look choppy. At that point, you might as well have two fenders since you're already.
No, you'll have the bend already. So you just...
Yeah, but the fenders won't. They won't, because there'd be nothing for it to grab onto. At that point, you might as well get two fenders. So now all we have to do is
it lasts a year or two.
we can fold the windshield down and it's ready to go. It just needs a steering wheel.
I think I could replace that windshield myself.
Or we could just fold it down. It doesn't even need a windshield.
I don't want a windshield to hit me. I don't want something to hit me.
That's why we wear goggles. We get goggles. We get space goggles or like airplane goggles and fold the windshield down.
No.
You get the full experience. Now that we got everything bolted together, she is looking pretty good. Technically, the fender is a little bit rusted. I think that's why the original owners replaced it. There's a small dent in it, but we're not really worried about dents and dings. And it was going to take a lot more work to get this fender to look like the original one than it would be just to put the new fender on. So pretty excited about that. Hopefully this video will help. Thank you for working on Estella with us, and we will be back to do some more work later. I bought a new steering column for her. After we put that in, we might be able to take her for a test run, see how she drives. She just needs a little more things here and there, and we should get her all put together and get her on the road. We're going to be heading out to Barnwell as soon as that happens and should have a good time. Talk to you guys later.